నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద 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 మూడోసారి కింద కింద
ఓకే సార్
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Hello, sir. Good afternoon to everybody. Professor Ibrahim Hussain Sheikh.
మూడోసారి కింద కింద
How are you, sir?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Professor Ibrahim Hussain, sir. How are you?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Hello, sir. Good afternoon to everybody.
అలాంటి చేయగలరు
Professor Ibrahim Hussain Sheikh.
మూడోసారి కింద కింద
How are you, sir?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Professor Ibrahim Hussain, sir. How are you?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Sir. Good afternoon to everybody.
అలాంటి చేయగలరు
Professor Ibrahim Hussain Sheikh.
మూడోసారి కింద కింద
How are you, sir?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Professor Ibrahim Hussain, sir. How are you?
నరేష్ కుమార్ మూడోసారి కింద కింద
Sir. Good afternoon to everybody. Professor Ibrahim Hussain Sheikh.
మూడోసారి
Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. Ibrahim Hussain, sir. How are you? Sir, good afternoon to everybody.
वीडियो घुमाती है
Ibrahim Hussain. Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Ibrahim Hussain, sir. Hello. How are you? Sir, good afternoon to everybody.
वीडियो घुमाती है
Ibrahim Hussain. Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Ibrahim Hussain, sir. Hello. How are you? Sir, good afternoon to everybody.
वीडियो घुमाती है
Ibrahim Hussain. Sorry, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Ibrahim Hussain, sir. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine.
Sir, good afternoon to everybody.
वीडियो घुमाती है
Ibrahim Hussain. Sorry, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Welcome all the delegates to the program of 1 week national workshop on socio-religious institutions
Ibrahim Hussain,
and
sir.
weaker sections
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
in India, Ambedkar perspective, and thanks all the organizers
I'm
and my
fine.
dear participants and invited guests on the dais of the dais.
Good afternoon to
Once
everybody.
again, welcome all the delegates to this program.
वीडियो घुमाती
Today
है
is the 6th day session.
Ibrahim Hussain.
For guest of honor,
Sorry, sir.
Dr. Kodam Ram Mohan Garu, Assistant Professor in Kakatiya Medical College, working at Good afternoon to all Hospital, Warangal. Welcome all the delegates to the program of join the sessions workshop on socio-religious institutions
Ibrahim Hussain,
and
sir.
weaker sections. With my immense
How are you?
pleasure, I invite our guest of honor, Ambedkar perspective, Professor, and thanks all the organizers
I'm
and
fine.
my dear participants and invited guest Rajna Garu of the dais, Professor in English Department, all the delegates, Geetam University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, the 6th day session. Join the session. Thank you all. For guest of honor, now garlanding the portraits of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar College by the dignitaries of the Hospital, Warangal. Welcome all the delegates to the program of join the sessions workshop on socio-religious institutions
Ibrahim Hussain,
and
sir.
weaker sections. With my immense
How are you?
pleasure, I invite our guest of honor, Ambedkar perspective, Professor, and thanks all the organizers
I'm
and
fine.
my dear participants and invited guest Rajna Garu of the dais, Professor in English Department, all the delegates, Geetam University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, the 6th day session. Join the session. Thank you all. for guest of honor. Now garlanding the portraits of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar College by the dignitaries of the hospital Warangal. Welcome all the delegates to the program to join the sessions workshop on socio-religious institutions and weaker sections. With my immense pleasure, I invite our guest of honor, Phule Ambedkar Perspective Professor, and thanks all the organizers and my dear participants. And invited Kakatiya garu of the dais, Professor in English Department, all the delegates, Geetham University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, the 6th day session. Join the session. Thank you all. For guest of honor, now garlanding the portraits of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar College by the dignitaries of the hospital Warangal. Welcome all the delegates to the program to join the sessions workshop on socio-religious institutions and weaker sections. With my immense pleasure, I invite our guest of honor, Phule Ambedkar Perspective Professor, and thanks all the organizers and my dear participants. And invited Kakatiya garu of the dais, Professor in English Department, all the delegates, Geetham University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, the 6th day session. Join the session. Thank you all. For guest of honor, now garlanding the portraits of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar College by the dignitaries of the hospital Warangal. Welcome all the delegates to the program to join the sessions workshop on socio-religious institutions and weaker sections. With my immense pleasure, I invite our guest of honor, Phule Ambedkar Perspective Professor, and thanks all the organizers and my dear participants. And invited Kakatiya garu of the dais, Professor in English Department, all the delegates, Geetham University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh, the 6th day session. Join the session. Thank you all. For guest of honor, now garlanding the portraits of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. ఒక్క నిమిషం మాట్లాడడానికి రెండు మాట్లాడు రెండు ఇప్పటిని అన్నది అంతే.
Good afternoon, all.
Now I am inviting cordially Dr. Ramajayam garu, Assistant Professor in Kakatiya Medical College, Warangal, working at Mahatma Gandhi Memorial Hospital. I will give message on this occasion. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, all. మన భారతదేశంలో మహిళలకు హక్కులు, చదువుకునే హక్కు, ఉద్యోగం చేసే హక్కు, మహిళలకు పురుషులకు సమానత్వం ఉండే హక్కు, జీవించే హక్కు, మరి హిందూ కోడ్ బిల్ ప్రవేశపెట్టాను మహిళల గురించి. మనకు అంబేద్కర్ చేయబట్టే మన మహిళలు మెటర్నిటీ లీవ్ తీసుకుంటున్నారు. ఒక విషయం చెప్పానంటే, మహిళలు జీవించే హక్కు కూడా అంబేద్కరే. అంబేద్కర్ వల్ల మన మహిళలకు వచ్చింది.
Thank you, sir, for giving valuable message on this occasion. We express our sincere thanks, deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Kodam Ramajayam garu, Assistant Professor in Kakatiya Medical College, giving valuable message on this occasion. And thanks a lot for spending valuable time for this program, sir. Thank you. Now I request T. Sri Ramaya garu to introduce to guest of today keynote speaker, Professor Sri Pragna Garu, Senior Most Professor in English Department, Geetham University, Vizag, Andhra Pradesh. Please introduce Sri Ramya.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity of introducing Pragna ma'am to the session. Pragna madam, Sri Pragna Garu has post-graduated from Andhra University in MA in English. She did her PhD in feminist theory. She was also an awardee of UGC postdoctoral fellowship. As an academician, she published many articles in various journals and books. She is a resource person to various universities. Her areas of research are feminist theory, women's studies, Ambedkar philosophy, and Buddhist studies. She was also invited to Japan as a participant observer at Tetakoya, a training of ethics in human life. Apart from being a professor of English, she is also a social activist. Now I request you, ma'am, to please deliver a lecture on this session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Dr. Ramohan Rao on the days and Professor T. Ramesh on the days, Professor Samaya, Director, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Study Center, Kakatiya University, and all the participants, both offline and online. My greetings to you all on the occasion of 130th birth anniversary of Baba Saheb Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You have to kindly excuse me because I'm not able to. I don't know whether you all can hear me or not. This coronavirus has taken away all my energy and I'm hardly left with energy to speak on this occasion. Some difficulty I'm trying to speak to you all. And I'm very happy to be a part of this one-week national workshop on socio-religious institutions and weaker sections in India, Phule Ambedkar perspective. I really congratulate Kakatiya University, especially Professor Samaya and all the members of the organizing committee for organizing this special and really great 1 week workshop or conference. And friends, today I'm asked to speak on the topic society, religion, and weaker sections with special reference to Dalits and women. As we all know, and the entire world, in fact, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar championed the cause of women of all castes as well as the weaker sections of the society all through his life. In fact, he was the first intellectual, a social scientist, who conducted a scientific study of Indian society and explained the link between caste and gender, explaining the root cause of all kinds of inequalities or injustices existing in Indian society. Baba Saheb Ambedkar said that today Indian society is governed by two ideologies. One ideology which is enshrined in the preamble of Indian Constitution, which guarantees equality, liberty, fraternity, and justice to all its citizens. And the other ideology, that is the Brahminical ideology, which governs the lives of people of India. And now when we talk about Indian society and the religion, and there again about women, and then weaker sections. In fact, this is not really such a simple topic. We need to understand the connection between and among various aspects. Although, when you talk about discriminations or several or different kinds of inequalities in societies in the world, various societies in the world, although gender is the only stratification found in any society, it has led to dangerous or destructive forms of discrimination in combination with other forms of inequalities. What are the other inequalities that we find, like race, class, and ethnicity in different societies? But in India, caste and gender together resulted in highly noxious and systemic inequality. In Indian society, sexuality, reproduction, and social production, these are regulated by patriarchal values expressed through specific cultural metaphors. Friends, when we look at the religions in the world, theologically, any religion for that matter, okay, you take Judaism or Christianity or Islam, Zoroastrianism, Sikhism, right, and then Hinduism, all are patriarchal religions. Doctrinally, right from creation of myths, all these religions, they imposed inferior status on women. Woman is always considered a secondary subject, or she enjoys women only a secondary status in the society. But here in Indian society, to understand Indian society and the inequalities in Indian society and the position of women in Indian society, we need to talk about not just patriarchy, but this Brahminical patriarchy. The term Brahminical patriarchy is essentially an ideology. It is an ideology by which the upper castes in India have ritually, socially, and economically marginalized the lower castes or weaker sections and women. After Ambedkar, anthropologists like Nu Yelman in 1962 inferred that fundamental principle of Hindu social organization is to construct a close structure to preserve land, women, and ritual quality within it. The three are structurally linked, and it is impossible to maintain all three without stringently organizing female sexuality. Therefore, neither land, ritual purity, and purity of caste can be ensured without controlling women. So in Indian society, the honor and respect of man is preserved through their women. As I have said just now, there are many overt rules in Indian society, prohibiting women from specific activities and denying equal rights to them. The sexist ideology expressed through many symbolic ways, this ideology, it gives messages of inferiority of women through many legends, highlighting certain issues like self-sacrificing, self-effacing pure image of women through the ritual practices that day in and day out emphasize the role of woman only as a faithful wife and a devout mother. Thus, this Brahminical religious worldview, we can say, it is grounded on understanding. It is grounded on understanding that. Hello.
Dear participant, kindly mute your mic. Very excellent lectures going on. Please stop. I think, don't take mistake me. Kindly mute your mic, dear participant.
Madam, please unmute your phone. Madam.
Hello.
Madam, please unmute your phone. Ma'am, okay, madam, continue.
This Brahminical religious worldview, it is grounded on the understanding that inequality is a natural phenomenon. So the woman who is considered naturally inferior, is bound to suffer exclusion from social, political, economic, and religious realms. This is a totalitarian exclusion, we can say. So this totalitarian exclusion relegated women in Indian society to a subhuman existence. So the caste system here in Indian society, it ideologically provides justification for subordination of women. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, as I have mentioned just now, in his early student days in the Columbia University in 1916, Babasaheb Ambedkar analyzed these connections between the genesis and perpetuation of caste system and oppression of women. You cannot, when you talk about Indian society, or when you talk about the position of women in Indian society, or when you talk about religion, you in Indian society, or weaker sections, anything, you cannot talk about or deal with these topics in isolation. If you do so, or if we try to do so, we can never understand what exactly the Indian society is. The Brahminical system in India imposes stringent restrictions on women because purity of women is central to Indian patriarchy, as purity of caste is contingent upon it. So, controlling women's sexuality, okay, especially of those belonging to upper caste, was the easiest way of making them not accessible to men of lower castes or lower orders or weaker sections. And this has resulted in harsh rules and inhuman traditions like child marriages, okay, and withdrawal from productive work outside the home, or forceful widowhood, and even sati. All of us, we are aware of these traditions. This is women belonging to the lower caste or weaker sections. They were turned into drudges. They were turned into drudges and subhuman beings who suffer from triple oppression. When you compare the position of women in India to that of any other societies in the world, Indian women belonging to these so-called weaker sections or lower caste, they suffer from triple oppression. As a woman, she suffers. As belonging to the lower caste, she suffers. And as belonging to a caste which is poor, or the kind of poverty associated with inferior castes. So this is triple oppression. And we can understand that the entire ideology of Pativrata, this is the mechanism of the Brahminical ideology for endogamy and purity of caste. So this gender ideology, when you understand this way, this gender ideology legitimizes not only the structure of patriarchy, but the very organization of caste, Baba Saheb Ambedkar was fully aware of the sufferings and marginalization of women along with men in Indian society, wanted to mitigate the sufferings. And so Baba Saheb Ambedkar consciously involved women in his prolonged struggles. So initially it was, mobilizing women for nominal recognition, just for their just cause. But ultimately Baba Saheb Ambedkar came up with the Hindu Code Bill towards annihilating the root cause. And now I'm not going into the details of Hindu Code Bill, and just, the most important things that one can talk about this Hindu Code Bill. 4 important points. There are many, but the 4 important one is the abolition of caste as a necessary requirement for a valid marriage. That is one. And then the prescription of monogamy, and then the right to divorce and right to property to women. And all of us, okay, many or most of you, there are many intellectuals here, or we all know how this Hindu Code Bill was defeated finally by the Orthodox members, and here, now let us see how there is not just one patriarchy in Indian society, but how there are how there are multiple patriarchies and layers of gender in Indian society, not just one patriarchy. In Indian society, because we know that women are not a homogeneous group. They are not homogeneous, but they have multiple and layered identities. So what are these layered identities, multiple identities, which are derived from social relations, within this unequal, patriarchal, sexist, and exclusionist caste system? So gender, caste, class, and sexuality. Friends, this is very important for us to understand that gender, caste, class, and sexuality intersect with each other. And what is the result? Resulting in processes, the kind of processes that position women as both collective and oppositional subjects. So the existence of multiple patriarchies, And many of their overlaps, they are integral to the Brahminical social order. When you analyze the practices of violence against women by upper caste, okay, or otherwise also by caste, which can say, okay, let us use the word caste here, that incidents of dowry deaths and violent controls that we see here, and many regulations on mobility and sexuality by the family, they are very, very frequent. They're very frequent among the dominant upper caste women. When you take Dalit women here, or women belonging to weaker sections, okay, when we say weaker sections, woman is also part of this weaker sections, okay. So Dalit women, they are more likely to face the collective and public threat of rape, sexual assault, and physical violence at workplace and also in public. See, in operation, in intercaste relations at local level, they often get mediated. They often get mediated through a redefinition of gendered spaces. For example, let me tell you. See, when a woman of the so-called lower caste, okay, a scheduled caste woman, or a woman belonging to any a weaker section, if a woman is assaulted by any caste Hindu, the women of these upper castes, they do not come forward to help, right? They do not come forward to help the woman who is being assaulted here. But on the contrary, the women of these upper castes, they join hands with their men of their upper caste. They join hands with their men. You must have noticed that. So this is how caste and gender, they get fused in this kind of attacks or violent activities or actions against women in Indian society. So this ideology or this Brahminical patriarchy, right, this is an exclusivist, okay? This is an exclusivist ideology. This, if you do not understand this ideology, which is governing the lives of Indian people today, we can never claim or we can never say that we understood the Indian society. No. We have, and most of you, you might say that we have stringent laws, but still there is always a question like this, we have stringent laws, but why there are many atrocities against women? Yes, the laws that we have, they're on the side of equality, but the practices or the customs that we have or that we follow, they're on the side of inequality. So that is why Baba Saheb Ambedkar said that the rights of people are not, the rights of people are not guaranteed by the law alone. They are guaranteed by the social and moral conscience of the society. So, as Baba Sahib said that as long as the customs and traditions that we follow, right, are on the side of this inequality, this results and will continue also, right, to result in gender exclusion. Not just gender exclusion, in combination, it is in combination with several forms of exclusion. Several forms of exclusion. If you see the writings of Baba Sahib, writings and speeches of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, we will definitely understand what kind of values we should develop to modernize social and political institutions of India. So, on the occasion of 130th birth anniversary of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, we need to think about all this. We need to think about these things, right? Try to understand the problems that plague Indian society, and then right, how to, as Sahib Ambedkar said that, it is not simply trying to understand the concepts, but we should understand the practical situation, and then as intellectuals or as people belonging to, because those who are here, you all are highly educated, and it is the responsibility of all of us. Baba Sahib Ambedkar has high hopes on the educated section of the society. So all of us, right, those who are highly educated, it is the responsibility of the educated section to understand the society as a whole and to attack the root cause of all kinds of problems, all kinds of injustices, all kinds of inequalities existing in Indian society. And this is possible only when there is a transformation, right? So there must be a change in the minds of people. Today we are talking about women empowerment. When you listen to many women's organizations, we see that women. You see women in many sectors. Okay, you see women as engineers. You see women as lawyers. Right? We see we see women, as scientists. Okay, and then you say women are found every many areas, but when you talk about the empowerment of Indian women from the perspective of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, we should understand the operation of caste both at the systemic level and at the functioning of patriarchy. That is what I have discussed just now. Okay, and this really, if you understand this, you will understand, right, Baba Sahib's views on women, okay, women's oppression, social democracy, caste, and Hindu social order, right? These are all significant to what we are talking about today as a feminist movement in India. Indian feminist movement, these are very, very crucial. They're very important. So, as Baba Sahib Ambedkar said and also proved himself as a real liberator of women, for Indian women's movement, Baba Saheb Ambedkar remains as a powerful source of inspiration. He remains a powerful source of inspiration, and also he can be a guide. He can be a guide, okay, to a feminist political agenda. And this feminist political agenda should address all these issues of caste, okay, class, and gender, and in this contemporary society. So with this, as I have told you, I really, find it difficult to speak. I request you all, at least on this occasion, birthday of Baba Saheb Ambedkar, right? As Ambedkar believed primarily in the efficacy of law and legislation, right? And how he struggled to establish a democratic society based on the pillars of liberty, equality, and fraternity. So let us all take let us rededicate ourselves to the mission of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. So what is that? That is to create a humane society. So the humane society, which will build on the pillars of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Thank you so much. And I express my inability, in fact, to Professor Samaya. Okay, I'm not able to speak, but though how much ever I wanted to, right? And Dr. Samaya insisted, and I also really did not want to disappoint, especially Professor Samaya. I think this is what all I could say or share with you all now on this occasion. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
I am requesting all the participants, you ask questions. Hello?
Hello.
Question and answers. Okay. It is my heartfelt privilege, thanks to Professor Sri Pragna Garu, Senior Most Professor in English Department, Geetham University, for delivering a guest lecture on society, religion, weaker sections, special reference to Dalits and women, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar contribution for women empowerment. This information may be useful to the society, ma'am. Thanks a lot for spending valuable time for this program. This is a really good lecture and hopefully inspirational, knowledgeable, and informative, historical, thought-provoking, nice session, ma'am. This information already reached to the participants. You have spent your valuable time for sharing such wonderful message with participants. We are very much grateful to you, ma'am, for allotting your valuable time for this program. We express our sincere thanks and deep sense of gratitude to Professor Sri Pragna Garu, Dr. Kodam Ram Mohan Garu, for giving their time and expressing their views on socio-religious status, Pule Ambedkar perspective. I thank you all the participants. Thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. And now felicitation to our guest of honor.
నాకు ల్యాప్టాప్ హ్యాండ్ ఓవర్ చేయాలి. ఇది వాయిస్ రా. ఇంకా నరేంద్ర అన్నది.
Now I am requesting all the participants fill your attendance link form before leaving the session, and we shall meet tomorrow session at 2 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, madam, for giving excellent lecture on this occasion.
Sir,
you are suffering from fever.
Dr. Samaya, sir.
You contributed your time for
Hello?
successful of my session, ma'am.
Hello.
Sir,
Hello, sir.
Dr. Samaya, sir.